All right, it's time, Ian, for some voicemails.
Oh, are we?
We're going to do some voicemails here.
All right.
You can go to anchor.fm/the CU podcast, and you can get to some voicemails. You can click on your phone and leave us a ditty if you want. We'll go through some. Well, you want to end the podcast this soon?
Wait, no, we're almost at 2 hours.
We're at 1:40. We got 10 minutes here. This is from good old Zappa Video. Let's see if this is going to work.
Hey dudes, Zappa Video here. I've got a question mostly for Pat.
Oh.
Pat, it's about the Video Game Years series,
Oh, no.
which I think is real great. But I know that the Video Game Years sapped your will to live about as much as writing the certain NES guidebook. But the series doesn't even get into the 1990s, a decade chock full of innovation and amazing games. So my question is, would there be any way to get a 1990s Video Game Years series? What would it take? Would it be a matter of $1 million, millions of dollars? If you don't even want to touch it, assuming things could be worked out with other co-producers, would it involve handing over the reins to someone else to produce? What cosmetic surgery or Dr. Frankensteining would it take
Jeez, Zappa. It's
to
getting
make
desperate.
a 90s Video Game Years series or a game series in the style of the Video Game Years series happen? Pat, Ian, keep fighting the good fight.
I love you, Zappa. I love your Tales from the Game Store intro. Got to keep that under a minute, buddy. But anyway, okay. So the Video Game Years, in terms of what it would take probably at least a few $100,000 for proper production, proper people working on it, getting paid properly, editors, people to go around and interview people. But I think the Video Game Years was purely a product of its time. We started producing that damn thing 9 years ago. It was like 2011.
We were also younger and had more time.
Yes, I still had a day job. So it's like, I don't have to worry about my own time making money. Let's do this on the side, at the time. Obviously, things have changed a lot. Quit my day job almost 8 years ago. It was 2012. Jesus Christ. But when we first started, there was still that it was a hobby still. We would go to MagFest and hang out, all of us. I was involved with helping run RetroWare for like a year and a half, 2 years at the peak in like 2012-ish to 13. I don't think it can happen again today. I just can't. It was so much time sacrifice and a time sink for so many people. The editors were paid, but not to scale. CG was paid. It was cheap. Could not be done to scale. And plus, at this point in time, we talked about the arcade documentary, Arcade Dreams. There's so many better video game productions being done for the history of video games. I'm not saying Video Game Years didn't start it, but when the Video Game Years was doing it, there wasn't a huge amount else out there.
Right.
But now the past 5-6 years, there's been so many more things that have come, thankfully. Smaller documentaries about game companies themselves. There's the Tony Hawk documentary. We even talk about the Midway documentary. Insert Corner just came out. Netflix High Score. There are so many more avenues now. The Video Game Years, if we did it that exact way again, it would seem dated, and the green screen sort of VH1 thing is passe and it would look cheap. That's the bottom line. I wouldn't want to do a show of that quality again. I just personally wouldn't. I've moved on from that. So, next question.
Hey guys, I'm here with your voice message of the week. I love the show. Thank you guys for providing such good content. And I would like to ask, what is your favorite stealth game?
Honestly, I don't play a lot of stealth games, but the first Metal Gear Solid was fantastic.
I played a little bit of that.
I really enjoyed the first Metal Gear Solid. I thought it was wonderful. Metal Gear Solid 2 is supposedly great, but I don't know that that's necessarily a genre for me. I'm a high-stress, high-anxiety individual. People who watched me play Metal Gear Solid back in the day can attest to my shrieking and yelping and throwing of the controller up in the air whenever the alert would play that would tell me that a guard had seen me. Loved the game, but have never really gone out of my way to play a stealth-specific game afterwards. That said, whenever I play an Elder Scrolls game like Skyrim or Oblivion, I usually tend to go for the stealth bow and arrow character build, and I have a lot of fun doing that. But Skyrim and stuff like that is built to, you can play any sort of character you want. A game that is purely focused on stealth, I haven't really played a whole lot.
You know what game I haven't thought of until this question that I played? On the PC, Commandos. Remember that game?
I do not.
It was an overhead game. You had one or multiple guys. It's a World War II game, I believe. And while there was action, you had to sneak around, and you had to hide from the Germans or knife them and plan things to blow up things. And it was like you control different characters. There was a series. You never heard of Commandos?
No.
Late 90s?
Never played it.
It was really fun. I remember playing a decent amount of the first game. I think they had a couple of sequels. Let me look that up real quick. Commandos. 98 came out. Yep, I had that. Not saying I had a legal version of the game, but I did have that. I played that in college. Came out on PS2? The sequel came out on PS2 and Xbox. The original, Behind Enemy Lines, 98. Yep. Real-time tactics. Yep. It was like overhead view. You walked around, you would hide behind things and things like that. You could fight, but if you fought, you'd probably get your ass killed. Good game. And then, of course, rescue the embassy mission, of course. All right, next question.
So growing up, I played Legos. Did you like Castle, Town, or Space? Thanks. 2 consoles too late here.
2 consoles too late? That was from Jackson. I had the Castle system. When we were at Mac in my day, we had 3 choices for Lego, and the Castle system, and it was great. I love the Castle system. I love the little weapons, the archery, all the little horses. There was a little catapult I put together that actually kind of worked with the little yellow pegs you throw them. It was fantastic.
I was also a Castle system child
because it was action based. The space guys, there was no monsters to fight. With the Castle, you can fight. I had the little gray castle, and I had the big black castle. We're talking late 80s. We're talking 88 about. That's when I had them. 89. And then if I was a kid nowadays though with Lego with all the different options, holy shit, I'd go nuts.
Yeah.
Star Wars Lego, I would go insane with that stuff. Or Lord of the Rings.
Hi, this is Chris from Illinois. I've been listening to the podcast since I was way too young to because I was a child who had access to the internet. But recently I've been binging a whole bunch of the Mega Man games, and I just finished the Classic series, and it's got me thinking, do you guys think that a cheaper game that just has a bunch of stuff there's no way you're going to get it on your first try, when you add save states into it, can actually become a better experience? Because everybody always talks about how it makes things too easy, but is it really more of a challenge if it's just more time taken away from you? And can something that is super over the top and unrealistic for the player to do become a fun thing once you only have to do it one time and never again? Love the podcast. Hope you're doing well. Keep doing what you're doing. Peace.
Thanks, Chris. I don't know when you started listening to the podcast, but wow, you sound like a 30-year-old unless you're like 19. You're like, when I was a kid. I was like, how old am I? We talked about this before. It's all about what you want to get out of it. That whole thing, that meme about, you cheated at the game, you earned nothing. It's like a game is your own personal experience. There's no set way to play, most video games, especially nowadays. And it's all about people's time and enjoyment, where we're way past the Nintendo hard era where you might play only that one game that 1 month, or that's the one game you're stuck with for your birthday, so you better learn how to get good at that game. You have so many options nowadays. There's no advantage for most of these games to be ass hard where, if you die, you go an hour back.
I still like the extreme challenge of very hard platforming, even if a little bit of it, I'd prefer to kind of have a shot at it the first go, but even if I have to learn a little something in a stage, that's fine. But I like what it's become, starting with games like Super Meat Boy with very hard levels, but they're very short, so that every time you die, it doesn't feel insurmountable to try again. And when you beat that level, you don't have to go back to it. Everything is broken up into much more manageable pieces. A game that I really like by Terry Kavanagh, VVVVV, I think is all the V's. That one has lots of lots of checkpoints. So there's always a checkpoint before a particularly challenging level. There's even a game I was playing recently, and now I can't remember the name of it, and I wish I could, that basically let you place your own checkpoints. you could only have like 1 or 2, but you could place the checkpoint before a spot that you were having trouble with. And I think I even saw a game that I have not played recently where one of the mechanics was like beating up enemies, grinding for loot, and then you could use the money to build yourself checkpoints before difficult areas. So all of these are better than the, very long levels with very few checkpoints thing. I think using the save states and getting by, I think, there's still a lot of fun to be had in a game like that.
This is from Brent.
Hey, Pat. This is Brent from Whippany in your home state of New Jersey.
Whippany.
I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's been going on here. Marijuana has just been legalized, so hopefully those edibles will make the holidays with your family a bit more bearable.
Well, thanks, Brent. Real quick, they're not in New Jersey anymore, but thanks.
The Friendlies in Metuchen is still open, although it's not looking good through COVID. I got ice cream at the Friendlies near me recently, but nobody's eating inside. The Parkway and the Turnpike tolls just went up. The 50-cent tolls are going up to 65 cents, so watch out for that. And there's a new digital press store in Springfield, New Jersey that you should check out next time you come back to visit.
Oh, it's Springfield.
I hope you and Ian have a wonderful upcoming Thanksgiving, and thanks for the consistently funny and enjoyable podcast.
Thanks, Brett. Next time, just give me a call. It's funny, like it's a Jersey buddy updating me and everything. Springfield's a nice town. Springfield is a very underrated Jersey town. Very nice. New digital press there. Yeah, nice. It's finally opening. Good to hear about the Friendlies hanging in there.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm familiar with Metuchen. Good to hear that. And the tolls going up. I'm not shocked. New Jersey is one of the most corrupt states. Those tolls were supposed to go towards tons of things, and now it's just a money sink of billions of dollars a year of fucking toll money. I'm not shocked they're raising it. When I was a kid, it started to be 25 cents. Then it was annoying to go to 35 cents because now you need a fucking quarter and a dime or 2 nickels. Just a quarter. Then it went up to 50 cents, like you said, 65 cents. And when you go down the shore, Ian, it's 3 one way going down the shore.
All right.
For like a 50-minute drive. It's not like 1 an hour. It's like 1 every 25 minutes, 20 minutes. Sorry. What's this one?
Hey there, Pat News. This is Bart over in fabulous Las Vegas. I have a question. Is the Cartography corner at Luna still open? And if so, can we send you guys maps? Maybe, possibly, please.
I would love more maps. The Cartography corner is not as robust as it once was.
I still want that Pirates map.
Yes. Yeah, not as robust as it once was. I do miss the Cartography corner. We still have a couple maps hanging. The segment of the mirror that we have taken over at the La Mesa store for decorating is adorned with various Pikachu cards, pictures of Idris Elba. I hung a picture of Idris Elba.
Okay.
He's a handsome man. Yeah, so I mean, by all means, send a map. I'd love to give it a home.
Hey guys, my name is Nick, and I wanted to ask, do either of you enjoy concerts? And what was the best concert you've ever been to?
Ian loves concerts. I don't, for the most part.
I love concerts. It's a tough call, but probably the best concert I ever saw was Daft Punk in 2006.
That would be fun.
They hadn't done any live shows in quite some time, and I was in San Diego at the time, and they were doing day 3 of Coachella. So that was back when you could still buy just a day pass to Coachella, and my friend at the time and I drove up to see them. And this was anyone who pays attention to Daft Punk at all probably remembers all the hullabaloo about their live sets from the 2007 era. They used a huge pyramid and a lot of lighting, and they put on a fantastic show. A lot of people said it was one of the best stage shows they've ever seen. This was the first time they had ever done that. No one there knew anything about what they were doing.
They were unknown.
Well, Daft Punk was known. The show that they were doing was completely unknown. So no one had any idea as to what the stage was going to look like, and the crowd was absolutely fucking wild for it. So yeah, that was probably the best show I've ever seen.
All right, we'll do a couple more here. I just lost the page. What happened to it? Which one we just did? We just did Nick?
Hey guys, long time listener, name's Louis from the UK. Literally watching a show right now. Just wanted to ask, has Varney, you forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Has she ever been on the show? And also, has there ever been a recording or rather a walkthrough of the Luna Store? If it has, great. I'll try and find it. If not, I was just wondering if those two things are ever going to be a possibility, just because we hear a lot about it, and Vonnie as well. And it'd just be nice to get a little more insight. Cheers, guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Louis. Love the accent. God, your mic was popping. Holy crap.
So we've never done I have posted brief walkthroughs of Luna, I think, on my Twitter account before, but I don't think there's anything posted online that I could direct you to, that I could point you at, that you could go check out.
Caltron 6-in-1 video.
But I was going to say, for the original store, the Caltron 6-in-1 video does show some of the interior, and my brief cameo in the Christmas episode from 2 years ago has a shot of me in the Chula Vista store.
You're not remembering the Anticipation episode. Well, I was on Voltaire Street. I shot in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was that one too. I don't think the old Newport address has anything online, and I don't think.
No, that is a Newport. That's right. The Anticipation one was on Newport.
Oh, okay.
Remember you threw Time Lord at me?
That's right. So the Newport location,
I missed that store.
But yeah, I don't think we ever recorded anything at the what we would call the main location, the La Mesa store. Vonnie's never been on the podcast. We've never had any guests on this podcast, but she
kind of hard to work that out.
She has done. She's been part of the NES Marathon multiple years, so
she's part of a few.
Yeah, she's been part of a few.
All right, got one or two more here.
Hey guys, just want to share a quick story with Alex Trebek just passing away. My dad watched Jeopardy every single night, and my brother and I were playing Nintendo, playing Legend of Zelda, and he wanted us to turn it off, which normally just turn it off, no problem, but Legend of Zelda, you gotta die, gotta hold the reset and power so you don't lose your game. But we had full 16 hearts and a blue ring, and it was not going quickly, and Jeopardy was starting, so my dad unplugged the Nintendo, and we lost our game right before we were going to level 9. Oh boy, tough times. But I love Jeopardy too, so, I got over it. All right, thanks.
Jeez, Peter. Pause the game and just let him turn the station.
Pause and let him change the channel.
Take the RF out.
That's the secret you got to learn.
Leave the power going there. That's rough. That's rough. You want to end it there?
Yeah, let's end it there.
We'll end it there. That's a rough story. I thought it was going to be like, well, we met Alex Trebek and he was the nicest guy.
Yeah.
No, my dad fucked me over on my Legend of Zelda game. Man. At least you didn't throw out your Marky Stevens clothes.